Hey guys, in this video we're going to be going over the 12th tournament GBWC championship winners here. So these were announced at the Game Fest that was just held this past weekend. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to see it because I was part of another tournament here, but we're going to go ahead and go over it, and I'm going to go ahead and let you know how I feel about the kits as well. So before we get started, guys, be sure to hit the like button and please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit big goals this year, so I need your support, guys. Please consider hitting the subscribe button and also share with your friends if they are interested in any kind of Gundam mecha content, playing the Gundam new TCG, the miniature games, Mecha Break, all those new things. We're gonna go ahead and cover it on our channel here. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into it. For starters here, I want to go ahead and explain real quick what is a GBWC and what type of tournament is it. Now, essentially, this is possibly known as the biggest Gundam tournament around. There are other similar ones that are very large, but they have different criteria. So we're gonna go ahead and go quickly over the criteria here. So this is the main GBWC website, and it shows you that this is the 12th, and this happens every single year. It is a global tournament for Gundam plastic model kits organized by Bandai Spirits. Preliminaries will be held in each area and region around the world to decide the World Championship of creating Gunpla. This has changed from year to year. Some of my friends told me that back in the day they had to, of course, travel to certain areas in order to do it, and I think since COVID kind of changed everything, now you can kind of do it in your immediate area. So if you have like a hobby town or a hobby store that's running these GBWC, you want to make sure to be able to ask them to see if they're doing it. You kind of do the tournament there at a local level, and you kind of grow. I believe it starts with a local level, goes to a state level, and then of course I believe it goes regional, and then of course you end with your country's champion. So this is going to be the champion that we go over for the USA here, not the whole entire thing, but the USA. So yeah, guys, on the website itself there's going to be a video that you kind of watch, kind of explains what they expect and what kind of kits you can use. You can't use every single Bandai kit, and you can't like use third-party kits, and there's only a certain amount of like 3D printing you're allowed or something like that. Of course, the best thing to do is just essentially buy a Bandai kit, buy many Bandai kits, and just use the pieces and things found from that. Of course, adding some styrene and then things like that. It's going to give you like a parts list as well, so it's pretty cool. All right, guys, with that said, let's go ahead and get into the USA winners. All right, so for bronze in the under 20 course here, we have the Gundam Ethereal Sacralance Fennis. This thing looks amazing. I'm gonna go ahead and take a pause here and play back the comment, a simplified version of the comment made by the actual builder, David Wang.
I primarily used the MG Gundam Furinashita as the base, modifying the head with MG Wing Zero parts, detailing the chest, and remaking the waist with MG Barbatos components and custom hydraulic pipes. The arms, thighs, and waist armor were replaced with MG Freedom Gundam Ver 2.0 parts, while the wrists came from MG Wing Zero. I added HG Livelance Heaven's backpack to the back skirt for effect, and incorporated MG Zero Quanta knee armor on the leg's rocket nozzles. The main backpack combined MG Phoenix Rinashita wings with MG Destiny and MG Freedom Ver 2.0 parts to fill gaps. Weapons included HG Rising Freedom's backpack, HG Livelance Heaven's lance, FM Ariel's gun, MG Finis Rinasita's shield, and MG Destiny's shoulder parts. I also crafted a sword using MG Barbatos, MG Finis Rinashita, and RG0 Quanta pieces. The Gundam features a blue, white, and grey scheme with yellow highlights for a sacred feel, mounted on a wooden platform with a UV glue water splash effect, creating the illusion of suspension above water.
How awesome is that, guys? Now for my own personal thing, but I'm gonna say this looks amazing. I do like the water. Can't even tell where the stand is. I don't even know how to do the splash effects. I'm not really sure if that's something that I will get into, but it does look really cool. I feel like you're always taking risks doing something like this here, but the shading on the blade here looks amazing. I do like the color scheme, the yellows there, just for like that highlight, that emphasis, not just like all over the place. It's done in very subtle, good spots here. Just the wings look really good. These just like the presentation of, I don't know, I see like the spikes on the side. It almost has like this outer silhouette going on. And here's the back, got like the, I think like the tall geese flaps here. That's what it looks like. The back looks pretty good, and just everything is nice and clean. I always give it to some clean builds, guys, because a lot of people kind of write off clean builds. They don't understand just how difficult keeping a build super clean the entire time. And I do feel like sometimes even when I make a mistake, I would just immediately go to weathering, just because you can cover those mistakes. And just look how devious this guy looks. I do like and don't like the springs, but it is different, you know, with the light reflecting on it. It does look pretty good. I like the stance here, the pose, really awesome looking. Great job, man. This under 20, this person's already better than me. I gotta step it up. All right, and for the next one, we have titled The Last Hunt. Let's go ahead and see what Ant, the builder, has to say about this one.
Set in a post-war world, monster Gundams created by humans have gone rogue and threaten humanity. To fight back, humans built giant Gundams to correct their mistake. This scene depicts a Gundam battling a dragon-shaped beast, the final rogue machine. I crafted this diorama using 100% Gunpla parts, custom mechanical details, and aged paint effects to reflect the battle's intensity. The dilapidated setting highlights the post-war world, while contrasting colors emphasize the monster machine.
Alrighty, so for my personal judgment here, this is obviously amazing. I like the fact that it has like this custom plate here. That looks really cool. I do like the story that it's telling. There's like this dragging looking kind of bird kind of machine here, and it looks like he's going to be either taming it or he's about to fight it. Looks like he wants to get closer to it. It seems that I'm getting from it. If I was him, I would grab by that other sword that's like into the ground here. Me personally, I haven't worked with any kind of like foam yet, so I don't know how he did the base, so I can't really speak onto that, but the base does add to it. It seems like there's like this ancient looking pillar here. That's something you would see kind of reminiscent of like the Stonehenge. Seems like, so it just shows you that he's kind of like an ancient zone, so maybe this bird represents something that's in that old area. And overall looks really cool. To be an under 20 course, this is insane. All right, and we have the winner of the under 20 course here, the gold place, titled A Reflection of Our Brothers, the builder Tim Tam. Check this out. This is GM on GMs with Osidic GMs here inside of a GM.
All 4 GMs were deconstructed and customized using polystyrene and metal rods for pistons and turrets, with a metallic effect on the rods. Polystyrene hinges were used to create an opening cockpit, and LED lights were threaded throughout the Gundams for illuminated details. Water decals from the Iron-Blooded Orphans and Gundam Thunderbolt series were added, with each Gundam representing a phase of development. The SVC-102 ship, modeled after a GM head, features a wooden frame covered with polystyrene sheets, sanded and filled for smooth transitions. Cannons were crafted from polystyrene with LEDs in the barrels, powered by a 12-volt outlet. Wireless power transfers light up the Gundams, while the hangar's infinity effect was achieved with 2-way and 1-way mirrors. Hangar walls were made from polystyrene, and custom water decals showcase the Federation symbol and SVC-102. Built entirely from scratch, the ship required meticulous work to shape each component.
So for my judgment, I like to just look at the kits per se. Like the building of the entire diorama headpiece, it's really cool. Just me personally, I'm just gonna look more so towards the kits themselves. I think a lot of times when you showcase certain things, not saying this is GBWC has different kind of rulings here, but in other kind of tournament settings, it's more so like maybe the piece can get lost within the diorama itself, or that more work is put into the diorama than the actual Gundam pieces. But here you can see these Gundams are really, really clean. They have no exposed wiring, and they have internal LEDs still, having eyes and the cannons here. And there's one spot on the top here, super clean. You can tell they have these other 2 GMs on the inside as well, 2 different types. And just you can tell this guy loves GMs. And of course, this whole display case, not to write it off, but it's still pretty good. He has like all these guns showing here, so it looks like it's like a little mini base that they are a part of. So that's still hard to do, especially with all the reflection lights. Man, Tim Tam taking it home with the gold in the under 20 course. Congratulations, man. It looks impressive. Good job. All right, guys, before we get into the next set of winners here, be sure to hit the like button and don't forget to hit the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the page, share and comment, all that good stuff, guys. All right, let's get into it. All right, for third place, we have the meaning of war. Me personally, if I had to choose, this probably would have been first place for me. This one looks absolutely incredible. I do have appreciation when builders don't take too much away from their kits. Not to take anything away from any kind of kit bashers or anyone that uses styrofoam bases, but I kind of like the custom plastic base made from scratch here, and the kits obviously modified, but not too much. You can actually tell that that is a Jaradoga and the J-Gun on the floor. Like, you can just tell that off rip, even though if you look up close, you can tell there are actually a lot of things added onto it. As in real life, as you go through war, especially with tanks, a lot of things could be added to it. You know, you get the base tank, and then you can add all these handlings, you can get all these things. And like, as you tell here, GaraDoga has that red piece there and some extra added plating on its skirt pieces and shoulder pads. So as it's going through combat, it's of course probably had to go through some repairs and added more shielding, because that's what the pilot felt like he needed to do. Good job, man. Good job. I like this one a lot.
This piece depicts the final moments of a GaraDoga pilot's story. Following the Second Neo-Zeon War, the pilot operates in secret as part of the Sleeves, facing relentless battles and mounting internal conflict. By UC-0096, during an assault on a Federation colony, he destroys a Jegon from Londo Bell after an intense fight. Weary of killing, he exits his cockpit and gazes at the wreckage, questioning the purpose of war. The models used are the MG GaraDoga and MG J-Gun, modified with plastic boards and sticks to enhance realism while preserving their original forms. The GaraDoga's chest armor details were reworked to reflect its backstory, with scribing techniques adding finer details. Putty was used to create a casting surface texture to match its heavy military aesthetic. A unified, weathered color tone was achieved through careful paint adjustments and oil paints, giving both models a naturally aged appearance. Hand-painted chipping effects add precision and depth, emphasizing the wear of war. This work aims to reflect on war and express a longing for peace.
Oh my goodness. This is amazing. I do love the contrasting of the orange next to the custom-made diorama background. That's kind of like, I do like these ones. I'm just not a foam guy. I'm not over the rock's head. Not saying you can't do anything like that, guys, but I'm more so like, if you build it yourself in this, you know, Gundam itself is plastic. So when you make your base that's kind of similar to that, and you scribe your base and add the decals to it, it's like you're translating your same kind of skill set. But I don't know, I just like things like this. But I'm just so amazed at how this looks. I did like what he did with the shields, them opening up, revealing some insides of it, and then of course looks like he's either jettisoning this shield in the background. I don't think it's kind of flying on its own. I think he let it go, like he threw it in order to activate this lightsaber, but he did have it painted here pink, even under the shield itself, to show that like the light is emitting from this. And I believe he even added a little bit of pink haze to his Gunpla as well. That's something that I feel like I would be too scared to do. After I make the whole kit, it's like, how do I just slightly breeze this pink on it? I would just be entirely terrified to do that. But Alec Trueblood went ahead and absolutely dominated this piece. Let's go ahead and take a look at what Alex Trueblood had to say about his kit.
This kit features added details and panel lines created with chisels and polystyrene sheets. Parts from Bandai kits were used to enhance the shoulder-mounted railgun and add a missile launcher to the backpack. Hinges made from polystyrene sheets allow certain panels to open and close. The diorama was crafted from leftover runners and polystyrene sheets. Painted with Vallejo acrylics, the kit employs OSL, object source lighting, to achieve a glowing beam saber effect.
And here we have it, number 1 for the over 21 division in the GBWC 12th Tournament USA. We have Welcome Home. Let's go ahead and see what Danzer Dragoon had to say about his kit.
This diorama depicts 2 Zagok mobile suits returning to their underwater base via a water portal. Both master grades were painted inside and out with Mr. Hobby lacquer paints, using pre-shading for depth and stippling with black, silver and rust for weathering and battle damage while maintaining structural integrity. The portal structure was built with Bandai hangar parts and 1/100 figures, detailed and painted with various techniques. Animated and static LEDs were wired into the hangar with hidden wiring. Sculptimold formed the ocean floor, painted for realistic sand texture, while hangar parts were weathered to match the Zagok kits. The models were secured to the base, and 2-part epoxy resin was poured into a custom mold encompassing the hangar. After curing, the resin was sanded and polished to a glass finish. A PLA plate wrap was pre-shaded and weathered with rust effects. Additional LEDs illuminated a figure guiding the first Zagok, with wiring routed to a rear switch. The diorama's base was scratch-built from a 1/4-inch MDF.
It is simply just 2 Zagox coming through what it seems like to be this water portal, where the water's being held in these like barricades, and these Zagox can essentially go into a underwater or, you know, a bay hangar area, just stepping right out rather than rising up. Something like here is extremely risky. I have no clue how he was able to achieve this, just building the kits inside and out, weathering them, and then just taking a chance, plunging them inside of a resin mode, and then having them, of course, that's it. Once you do that, that's like the final step. You cannot go backwards from that point there. Also adding the extra resin to show that the water is kind of coming off it is just incredible. Man, that really looks like it's just underwater. It's just how it looks, and with the bubbles and everything coming off of it, I have no clue how that's achieved, and he pulled it off very well. And even with this the picture of it, the story that it's telling, even with the minifigures, bringing them in, looks like they're about to go up for repairs here, possibly getting up there to get the pilot out. You know, things like that. It's just awesome. All right, guys, that's the end of the video. Once again, congratulations to all of the winners. Me myself, I think I'm gonna try this year to get into at least the 13th GBWC. I entered the 11th one, got second place in my locals, but I'm gonna see if I can go ahead and get something going. There's a lot of work that needs to be done this year. As long as I start planning now, I feel like a lot of Gunpla builders, we all say this, as long as you start planning now, we should have something worked up. Be sure to follow the channel for that journey so you can see the progress going along there. In the comments down below, be sure to let us know which one that you like the most. Did you think that this was the proper first place? Would you have chosen another one instead? Did you see anything that wasn't shown here that you thought should have been here? Go ahead and let us know all that stuff in the comments down below, guys. Let's have a conversation. And if you haven't yet, be sure to share and hit that subscribe button, guys. We're trying to hit big goals this year. A lot of work needs to be done, and hope to see you in the next one. I know life can be hard out there, guys, but keep your head up, keep moving forward, and most importantly, let nothing stop you. Peace out, guys.